This is Joe Smith from the Midwest Football Podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It all helps us grow our show. Look for our full show, too, anywhere you find podcasts. Links below.
They have an ability to get together, identify where they were weak, and just keep trucking. And I wish more organizations ran like that, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of unintentional comedy from the ones who don't. Sorry, Cleveland, you went through like 10 coaches in 8 years at one point, but that's the antithesis of it.
Yeah, contrast that with the Lions. I can't remember the statistic off the top of my head, but I read something like they had like some number in the teens of winning seasons since like the 60s, and on 4 of them they fired their coach.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Like, yeah. I'll never forget, wasn't your best season ever in Detroit the year right before Barry Sanders retired? Am I misremembering
that wasn't the best season ever, no.
Well, I mean, it was the one time they won a playoff. Right?
Yeah, they had gotten back to the playoffs.
Oh, it wasn't the win, because they had one playoff win in like 60.
Yeah, that was back in 91.
Oh, okay, that was it. Okay.
Yeah, which, by the way, a lot of people in Detroit have been, not a lot of people, but every so often some of the old timers are bringing up as we prep for this draft, because they were building that team, and they had Barry, and they had the line, and they had a legitimate defense, and they had wide receivers, and they somehow ended up with a high draft pick, and it became Andre Ware.
It's like the Darko Milicic of football.
And the Lions, basically, that was the death spiral for the entire build right there.
So it sounds to me like this year you guys are drafting Mike Mayer in the first round, and your entire fan base will revolt over another first-round tight
end. Yeah, it just seems like we fall in love with receivers around here in the front office. That's for sure. Oh, my goodness. I'm not even going to bring up he who must not be named that drafted a receiver every year in the top 10.
Was it 4 years in a row before he got Megatron?
Might have been 3 out of 4.
At least you got some return on Mike. Was it Mike Williams when you flipped him to Dallas?
Yeah, I think it was.
But man, who was the other guy? Charlie Rogers from Michigan State. I don't know what happened to him. He was so good in college.
What happened to him is he busted his collarbone back when that was the end.
I'll do it.
Yep. And he basically couldn't stay on the field after that.
Yeah. Well, I think we should take this time to remember that as the NFL draft approaches, that 6 years ago, the Bears traded up from number 2. They traded picks that would become Alvin Kamara and Fred Warner, future All-Pros and probably Hall of Famers, so they could not draft Patrick Mahomes. So just remember that when you Lions fans think about you only got a 5th-round pick out of Jeffrey Okudah with the 3rd spot, it could have been worse. You could have given up 3 Hall of Famers and gotten Mitchell Trubisky, and then not even get a 5th-round pick when he walks.
Yes, this is the you see, this is what we do here in the Midwest. We swap our horror stories, and then we try to look, and then we try not to listen to the annoying Steelers and Packers fans. They're like, well, you don't really know heartbreak until it's been in the conference finals.